so I'm gonna have you hold it into position. All right, hold her steady.
Okay, I can do that.
Hey guys, well here's what this foundation looks like. I haven't seen it since after we left that day after we poured it, but golly, it looks really good. I got no complaints about that at all. The next thing on the agenda is I'm going to take it and unload some of this building to see if I have the ability to lift it and put it together myself. I think I'll put the forks on the Bobcat and see how high it lifts, because I know the peak in the middle of it, the peak is maybe 13, maybe 14 feet at the highest point, and I think the Bobcat will probably lift it that high. And then I could also rent a little scissor lift. Probably cost me $300 for a week. So I'm going to go ahead and unstrap a lot of this stuff, see what we have. All this stuff is all numbered as to what part it is, and man, it's been out here for a minute. Some of these numbers are getting faded. At any rate, let's take this stuff off here and see what we got, and I'm going to see what it's going to take to put just the center I-beam section together. Oh yeah, so real quick, kind of get a little story about these garage doors. When I ordered that building from Metal Mart, I did not get it with the garage doors. I didn't want roll-up doors like this. Last week before that, I was looking for doors, called a couple of places, finding out these doors are between $1,200 and $1,500 a piece. And I'm not talking about the roll-up ones, I'm talking about the sectional ones like you might have on your house, 10 by 10. So after calling a few places, I found a place in Fort Worth called Family Christian Doors, and he quoted me out a price on a Clopay 10 by 10 sectional door, $835 a piece. So after I did some checking around and found out that was a really super good price, I went ahead and paid for him and got him to bring him in. He said, I can get him for you, have him here in just a few days, and it's $100 for me to pick him up from Clopay. And I said, can I pick him up? They're just over in Dallas. He said, no, you can't. So it was an extra $100 to pick him up. And then when I went to pay for the credit card, I was out here pouring the concrete, and they said, he said, yeah, I'll take a credit card over the phone. It's going to cost you 3%. It's a 3% credit card fee. And it's like, crap, that's $90. So I told him, just go ahead and do it. So I paid for him in full. That was on a Monday, the Monday I was pouring the concrete. So he told me that he would pick them up during the week, that week sometime, and I could pick them up the following Monday. I said, no problem, I'll be off on that Monday, come pick him up. So I went by there on Saturday. I was running some errands, took my trailer, thought I'd go by there. They were open. So I went by Family Door on Saturday. He wasn't there. The guy said they weren't in yet. That was on a Saturday, almost a full week later. And he said he would get a hold of the guy that I talked to. So the guy called me Monday morning. So no, wait, it wasn't Monday. I called him on a Tuesday. I gave him all day Monday to call me, to let me know something. He didn't call me Monday. I waited till the afternoon on Tuesday, and when I called them at Family Christian Door, he said, oh yeah, I was fixing to call you and tell you, but they changed the price on me, and I can't sell them to you for $835 a piece. And he said, that would be below my cost. I said, well, it doesn't make a difference to me who made the mistake. I didn't. I've already paid for these things. And he said he couldn't do it. So I started looking around, and I found these at a place in Joshua, South Fort Worth. Got a quote on these things for $600 a piece. And I thought, man, I can do that. $600 a piece. And I went over there and picked them up. So that's these doors right here. 10 by 10s. They are, what brand are these? Anyway, I'll put it up here real quick. That's what brand they are. All right, let's start getting that taken off that trailer real quick. See what we got. Alright, so here's what I got going on. I've got all of the sidewall pieces kind of laid out where they're going to go. And so here's this is the main middle I-beam section, and then here's 1/2 of the 20-foot upper piece. Over here is the other one. And the problem is, it's not putting the sidewall pieces up, it's getting the top piece up here, because at the peak it's probably 14-ish feet, somewhere in there. The old Bobcat, it'll lift it up that high, but that puts the forks almost directly above the Bobcat. That's kind of dangerous. Little old Blue here, she won't go that high, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to see how high it is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece right here, this one right here, with these little pieces on it. What I'll do is I can make a triangular piece that comes off of those three to one point, and make some kind of a stinger that comes off to get up to that 14 feet, and that just bolts on the front of that bucket. So right now what I'm going to do is go ahead and load the rest of the Z-purlins for the roof. So I'm going to take all this stuff off and get it kind of staged, get all the trim off, put it on wood. And you know, I think I'm going to try to put the sidewalls up, the sidewalls and the girts. Maybe I need to clean the bolts off real quick, make sure the threads are good, and I don't know, you guys just watch. See if I can do it. I'm gonna try to do this by myself. I know you can leave in the comments if you think it can be done, but I'm gonna try to do this by myself, and y'all are gonna come along as I try. Alright guys, I think I've got an idea what I want to do on the bucket up here on the front to make the stinger, to raise that center section up high enough. I think I can get all the outer sections. You can see I laid them out there. Those are all really pretty light, and I can use the Bobcat on the outer part with the forks to get some of that high stuff up. But like I said before, I really don't want to use that on the concrete. It's just going to tear it up with those steel tracks on the Bobcat. Let's see what I've got here real quick. Alright, so here's 3 pieces of 2-inch square. Yeah, so these two are about the same height. Let's see if they'll fit on those fingers real quick. Oh, look at that. Perfect. You know what? That's a little bent right there. I've bent that. Oh, I remember doing that. So I'm gonna grind that a little bit, get that loose. So that'll work. Now the center one, yeah, I want to do is something that's a receiver size. All right, I think this is receiver size right here. Let's try that. Okay, here's the end of that stinger at 18 inches. The end of that fork. And I need enough room to be able to put this inside without hitting that stinger. So I think something like this will work. You know, I might have another ball mount. Let's double check it as well. Yeah, that'll work. Just try it. So I can use either one of those ball mounts. Okay, so I need to come up a way to come off of this over to this and somehow cut a V into it to make that work. You know what, actually I think what I'll do, but I'm going to take this piece, cut it off where I need it to be, take the remainder of this, cut it in half, and then I'm going to use it for these pieces straight up. That way I can take the 1.5 inch and just cut it at straight angles. That'll work. Eight inches. We'll cut it right there in half. Cut it off there. Wonder how high that will go up. Let's check that out real quick. All right, so that is 13 feet to the top up there. Really wanted it to go 14. And it would go a little higher than that if I extended that. Well, if I lift the boom up a little bit higher, you know, as that boom gets higher and higher, that tractor is going to start getting tippy, depending on how much those I-beams weigh up at that height. So I think what I'll do is I'll find a piece that fits inside of that, and then what I'll do is I'll make a few adjustments to where maybe I can come lower with the bucket, extend the boom out a little bit. Just remember, the longer I make that, the less this thing can pick up. It may not even be able to pick up that I-beam with all this added leverage that I've put on it. Anyways, I think we're pretty close. Maybe I'll throw a little paint on it real quick. All right, so here's what I came up with. I'm going to try to see if putting my strap over the top of this and hooked to the I-beam will lift up high enough, and this will keep the strap from sliding down. Then if it won't, and I made that little capsule that you saw me weld on, and I will extend it out, you know, however far I think I need to, and I'll lock it. It's not going to lift up much with that kind of extension, but I wanted to have something. If this didn't work and I didn't have a way to extend it, I wasn't going to be left with anything. Worst case scenario, I could use this apparatus to lift other things, but I think this is a good start. So I am going to throw a little paint on it real quick.